So
Yeah.
patience is, I would say, my biggest obstacle because
Wow. Yeah.
something you want to do right away, you're good at, you go through everything. Like I said, I pick up pretty quick, but some things just can't be rushed.
Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Gym Owners Growth Zone podcast, the show designed to help gym owners like you improve and grow their businesses. I'm your host, Andres Escobar, and I'm so grateful to have you join us today. Today, we have Dr. Nick Gagic, a rehab focused chiropractor who combines manual therapy, adjusting, and exercise to keep patients healthy to get them back into the activities they love. With over a decade of experience working with athletes and active patients, Dr. Nick breaks the mode of traditional chiropractors by addressing more than just back and neck issues, and he works closely with gym owners to help injured members safely return to their workouts. And if this is your first time listening to our show, please consider subscribing to the podcast and share this episode with someone whom you think will enjoy it. As we dive into the show, listen to how Nick, not wanting to disappoint family, drives him to excellence. Hey guys, welcome back to Gym Owners Growth Zone podcast. I'm joined today by Nick Gagic, and he comes from ChiroLab. ChiroLab is a place where you can get rehabbed, where you can actually work with your trainer. He's also a trainer. So he has experience on how to work with gym owners and help your clients get back into the gym. All right, Nick, welcome, man. I really appreciate you joining us today and coming here. A lot of people might know you and a lot of people might not. So I really like to start off with a little bio, a little intro. If you could just tell us a little bit about I know you're going to talk about we're both, by the way, guys, we're both immigrants. I don't know if you knew that about me, but I am an immigrant, born in Colombia, made in the US. Nick, where are
Born.
you from?
So I'm from Croatia. It's a little place in Europe. You might have heard of it. Great vacation spot. But I'm a chiropractor myself. I've had 10 years of prior experience with gym ownership or working in gyms. I did 10 years of strength conditioning myself. So I like to collaborate that aspect with also the chiropractic aspect. And I like to work with trainers, etc., to keep the clients coming back without any aches, pains, and continue their program, whether they want to continue a boot camp or strength training.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thanks for giving us a little tidbit about who you are and how you help, dude. Because that's super important. Because, in the beginning, people were like, okay, who is this guy and why should I listen? Right. So thank you for that little snippet there. I appreciate that. And by the way, so, you know, one question I love to start with is the whole roller coaster. And so you guys are about to strap on to a ride that will take you on and you'll see where it ends. And I hope you like it. And so life is a roller coaster. And in it, we have lefts and right turns that just might take us out of track, right? There's handrails, there is seatbelts, there's tracks that we need to stay on. For you, Nick, what has been the most important track or handrail, guardrail that kept you going so you can reach those goals? What has been the one thing for you?
For me, it's mainly been just trying to run my own business in a way that I can have a better future for future generations, and in a sense, give the people back something. Working with gyms, etc., like I did before, I decided to better myself a little bit in the aspect of becoming a doctor, but I almost give the same, call it scripts, whatever you want to call it, little advice, almost like a trainer, etc. So I figured, hey, if you're not going to listen to me as a trainer, let me become a doctor and listen to me. Let me give you the same advice. So in that sense, I like to pretty much merge the two together, and from that, hopefully get a better outcome for a patient to help people feel better, move better, and just live their daily activities without any pain, aches, and just kind of go from there.
So, if we could just like figure out from what you just said, what has been the thing that's helped you focus on you? I understand that you became a doctor, which is like what 7 years of schooling.
bachelor 4 year, and then doctorate is like 3 and a quarter. So
Yeah. Yeah. Three. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So going from trainer to doctor. So it's so cool. That could be the title of the show. I'm not sure. No making any promises here. but it could be. It sounds like a really good title. So what has been the thing that's like, I'll tell you, for example, me is reading my Bible in the morning.
Mhm.
That has been one of my guardrails. Meeting with men on a weekly basis to make sure that I'm being accountable to the things that I want in my life, or I see God wants in my life. So give us a little bit about what is that thing that helps you focus and stay, on track to reach your goals, you know?
So I come from a very small town. I almost feel like I got a chance, to make it big or whatever you want to call it. I got this opportunity, in America, in the land of opportunity. So with that being said, I almost want to give back eventually to that hometown. So I guess essence of just having my family and almost and it's going to sound a little bad, but almost not disappointing anyone in a sense. And that's almost a driver of like, okay, one more day, one more day, one more day. And going from that, it just keeps growing and growing. And don't get me wrong, there's days where, it's tough, it's hard, but, just once again, just trying to provide for my family, hopefully my friends at some point, if they ever need it, just to be support for someone in a way that I've been supported throughout this entire journey.
Got it. I see the why. And the why is super important. Like, guys, having a why, a vision for your life is so important. If you don't have one, you're going to you're going to get off track. I mean, we can't say this enough. A why makes you get going in life. And I'm trying to make it like a nice spin on it, but it's that simple. It's that simple, guys. No need to make it pretty. No need to make it like an alliteration, rhyme it. It's like the why is just gonna get you there for sure. In the belief, right? In the
Yeah.
belief of like, hey, I don't want to disappoint, but I believe that I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to disappoint. I'm not going to disappoint. I'm going to focus on getting it done, and that's great, dude. I love that. It's a reminder for everybody. All right, very cool, man. Very cool. Now, talking about disappointment, there's things that come at you hard and fast. And those are called obstacles, challenges. What has been a challenge that you've hit straight on and you just like bulldoze right through it or went around it or something, but it no longer became an obstacle? What has been one for you that's been helping you tell a story?
So one thing I've been working on and working on myself is I hope not to sound in any way conceited. Usually I'm pretty good at anything I do. And at one point, business ownership
Yeah,
has been the toughest obstacle in
sure.
general to overcome. Um, that has been something where I'm almost impatient. So
Yeah.
patience is, I would say, my biggest obstacle because
Wow. Yeah.
something you want to do right away, you're good at, you go through everything. Like I said, I pick up pretty quick, but some things just can't be rushed, and that for me has been, in a sense, overthinking, and that patience. Those are my two biggest, I would say, obstacles, because the second one thing maybe doesn't flow the way I expect it to, 3 steps, 4 steps, and like you said, there's turns, there's lefts, there's rights, there's all that. So in a sense of, every time there's that next obstacle or something to be patient about or something doesn't go my way, that has to be used in a way of where you now can take it, understand it, calm it down, don't think what this, what that, and just let the process go. And eventually it all works out if you put the work in. It won't just go if you just stop and be like, oh, this will get settled. No, no, you have to find a way to get that obstacle done. And so patience is definitely what is it? Patience is a virtue, I believe,
Yeah.
is the saying. But
Yeah. Yeah.
overthinking and lack of patience sometimes gets in the way.
Yeah. Overthinking it. I think that sometimes your impatience happens and then you start overthinking and that's it. It's crazy. I got a quick story that I could share and it basically has to do with this podcast. So when I first released the podcast, it was in February. Um, After somebody listened to the show, they're like, "Oh my gosh, that was amazing!" And listen, you have a podcast, and it's like a negative return on investment, right? You put a lot into it, and then you're like, "Okay, hopefully this comes out and something comes good out of it." And after somebody listened to the podcast, within a week, by the way, we've been producing it for like a couple of months already, and a week or 2 weeks later, somebody comes in and just like gives me money, like donates basically for the podcast. I'm like, I want this to succeed. I think this would be great. I'm like, what? And then the thing is, like, it I hopefully inspires somebody out there that if you have an idea, don't worry about the how. The more important thing is the who. The who is more important than the how. How am I going to make this work? What is this going to do look like? And this and that. No, like who? I got a team behind me that's making this happen. This is not all me. It might look like it's an amazing. Andres, you put out such a great podcast. Listen, it's just me. The pony show over here is me and Nick over here. We're just showing you guys a little bit about our sharing our stories. That's it. But it's more important on the who. And so that's the patience, having that patience. How do you get that patience and not worrying about, the how? Because I want this done now, like now.
And
How?
that's it right there. If and like you said, it's you have to work towards it, and when that obstacle comes, you may have to take a step back, you reassess,
Yeah,
and then you usually find a way through.
yeah,
And like you said, that's been the overthinking though, like how am I going to do this, who am I
yeah,
going to
yeah,
all this, and eventually it just takes that one.
yeah, yeah.
It just takes that one to get you that positive endorphin hit, and you can
Right,
continue.
right. And it's interesting because I just realized this. Like you said, patience, and so you call your customers patience.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah, patience on patience.
oh man, the dad is coming out of me. The dad jokes are coming out. That's very mild guys. So we'll keep it light here. We'll keep it light. So in your perspective, right? So you've been a trainer, right?
Mhm.
You've been a trainer, and you currently still are a trainer, right? You still certified and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I did
I
strength
don't.
and
You don't
conditioning.
lose the certification, do you?
You just have to do
Renew,
continuing education,
continue
and
education. Yeah,
just like your license, like my
yeah.
chiropractic license, same thing.
Yeah.
It's just
I
the
have
next
a
level.
podcast license, so please, actually, that should be a good thing.
Yeah,
That should be a thing. It should be
there
a
we go.
podcasting license, dude. That's
Yeah.
a license to podcast.
License to
It's a new
podcast.
shirt. We should have that. Sorry, go ahead, dude.
No, but just like you said, so the transition and being a trainer. So I did strength and conditioning for about 10 years.
Yeah,
I worked with anywhere from professional athletes to high schools or just the general population. How my practice currently runs is we do a lot of rehab based.
yeah,
Um, call it rehab based practice or anything like that. But
yeah,
essentially, what we do is a lot of people need to get stronger,
yeah.
and some limitations happen, etc. But taking that trainer background, you won't always find a chiropractor that does
Hmm.
that sort of work. It's either one or the other.
Let's double tap on that right there because I think the value that people are going to extract from here that are gym owners. And how do I partner with a guy like Nick, you know,
Yeah.
that knows has a doctor, or has a chiropractor, physical therapy, that type of world. How do we partner with somebody like you? How do they find somebody like you, dude?
So essentially, a lot of the time spent in the beginning, I would go to gyms, introduce myself, show them how I work, etc.
Nah. It's not gonna work, bro. They want to control. They want to say, hey, how do they find you somewhere? Because if they're waiting for the Nick to show up, I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
How does somebody like you, if you tell us a little bit about who you are, like, so you were a trainer
Mm-hmm.
and then became a doctor, chiropractor. Um, how would somebody find those two skill sets together out there?
So how to
I
explain
know I
this?
put you on the spot, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you thought it was gonna be easy. By the way, him and I we played pickleball yesterday. This is the luxury you got from being here at the studio. We play pickleball. So And that was a fun time.
Yeah, no, it was a good time, especially the win.
Yeah, especially the win.
But like I said, people sometimes have seen my workouts. It's a smaller niche. So depending on whether, like you said, you see the word chiropractic and you automatically think, oh, neck and back, and they just do the adjustment.
Right.
And that's where I come in, and I'm a little bit different from that.
Yes, tell me, how are you
So-
different? That's super
So
cool.
essentially, we do a lot of manual therapy, whether it be cupping, some scrape work, some massage related work, etc., like that. So my niche, you would say, or the population I kind of go through, are people that are active, still want to do, whether it's go to the gym, be your weekend warrior, play pickleball, for example. I am if you've had an experience and let's say you maybe didn't like how the traditional way went, I'm the alternative to that.
Yeah.
Where now it's like, oh, wow, he actually has been in the sport. He's
Right.
played it and he goes to the gym, etc. Not saying that no chiropractor goes to the gym. It's just, it goes hand in hand to how I practice. So whether it be, like I said, a gym goer and he sees an exercise I'm doing that's maybe not your typical exercise, they'll be like, hey, oh, I see chiropractic on your shirt. Don't you just do this? I'm like, no, we have, and then the elevator talk. How can you explain, what you do in a matter of, 30 seconds or so?
Yeah.
That I'm still working on, but essentially I just say
it's called the perfect intro, by the way.
The perfect intro. Yeah. So
are you ready? I think we have a learning opportunity here. If I don't mind. So it's basically, I'll give you mine. So we help gym owners put digital steroids on their reviews and referrals. So it's like who you serve. So active people you mentioned. Okay. What you do to help them. Okay. And how you do it.
There you go. So.
Or how you do it and what you do. So that could be interchanged depending on how you structure it. But it's those three elements right there will give you the perfect intro. And I was actually taught by Seth Godin's this guy worked like his assistant, like his market. Seth Godin was a huge marketing guy. And so I got a chance to meet the guy that creates the perfect intro for companies and websites and whatnot. So he just got taught by not the master and not even the apprentice, but just a meager attendant at a conference. But he actually worked with me like close like this, so it was really cool. But hopefully that helps you.
No, of course, no, and that definitely.
Listen, we want to help everybody. We're not here just to self help. So
essentially, now that depends on if it's a client or a trainer, because I can also be looked at as a threat for trainers. Like he might take my clients, he might do this. And essentially my goal is to show them a couple of maybe exercises and the manual therapy side of things combined in one.
Right.
Because I think all three aspects definitely help.
Yeah.
To continue with that trainer without any hiccups, any aches, any time off, which then in return continues to help their business. So I never want to be anyone that's looked at that takes patients from or takes clients away from trainers, etc. But in a sense of if you're, let's say, a trainer, I try to assist and co-work with you.
Why would a trainer think, and that's like such a mindset, like why would a trainer or a gym owner think that you're going to take a client away from them? I mean, you still have, I guess, some PT clients that you
of course, no,
but I mean, it's like it's not your main focus. Like
so
it's like more like these are my friends and my family. Like I have, I talked about gyms, but I also have like a roofing company and an accountant that they're friends of mine. They want me to help them with reviews and referrals. I mean, I'm not going to say no.
Exactly.
But my go-to market is, and that's how you work on that perfect intro. Next time I see you, I better have that perfect intro.
Perfect intro. That's my homework.
Tuned in. That's your homework. That's your homework. You guys too. Yeah.
But essentially, if you know what, maybe I can answer that question real quick. So if it is a trainer, my perfect intro is, hey, I'm here to co-work with you to have your clients coming back. Perfect.
That's it. I'm here to work with you and on your clients so they go back. Goal is a beautiful word to hear when you're scoring on the soccer field. This last World Cup was won by Argentina because of one important player. Yeah, you got it. It was the goalie. He secured the win for the team, and in the same way, ReviewBiz platform will catch negative reviews before they go online. In addition, it helps you score and promote fresh new reviews so you can crush the competition. So don't let those big box gyms take your clients. ReviewBiz will help you build your online presence and turn your own members into your best sales reps. Get your first 5 reviews for only $1. All you got to do is go to reviewbiz.io/try to get started. That's it. So we're working with you and working on your clients so they come back into the gym. Because they don't stop their membership, you know?
Exactly. So
and then they get the PT and then all that's good stuff, dude. It's great, dude. So I'm not taking no PT clients. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not here to take anyone's clients, patients.
No.
Hey, if once again, with the work I do, sometimes maybe if I see I like the way you work, I'll refer all my rehab-based clients to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that's it.
It's a cohesive that works back and forth. So
after you learn that, about them, it's a relationship. It's how you build it, man. I love it. I love it. And all that, I want to make sure that we touch on that because the next question is so important. It's about the fitness industry in general. What do we need to change? I have here a magic wand that you get. Yeah, he's taking it. He's going to wave the magic wand and he's going to fix something in the industry that needs to be fixed. As soon as he waves that wand, it's done. It needs to get fixed. So it will get fixed. What is it? What is something that you think we need to get done and changed?
So in the fitness industry, there's a million exercises. There's a million ways to do exercises. There's a million systems, just like in every other career, etc. So I'd say not so much maybe shaming of one versus the other, like, oh, don't do those. That's a terrible system. I find myself, because I have gone through so many systems, I take a little piece of each one that goes to the patient. Not every client or every patient's going to be the same. Some patients don't like to do certain exercise, etc. So you have to find a way to still give them that workout. At the same time, you have to adhere by what you practice. So I would just say in the fitness industry, there can be a lot of gimmicks. There can be a lot of ways to do something, but it doesn't mean one way is right and one way is wrong. In the end, it's what the patient likes or the client. And I would say the key is to focus on that as opposed to saying, no, they did terrible. We'll do a better job. Not so much of there's always going to be competition. You can't take that out. But in a sense of let's focus on the client themselves rather than almost maybe your ego on that. Because it's not about you in the end. It's about the client. So getting a system that, okay, you do this. Oh, I like that. I'll take 20% of that system. And, you do this. Oh, look at that system. I'm going to apply because some patients, for example, squatting. Let's say squatting.
Oh, yeah.
Some patients are scared, or even deadlifts. Deadlifts are looked at as like, oh, no, your back and everything. But if the deadlift is performed correctly,
it's with the legs.
That's legs and hips. Yeah, all lower body. But once again, the lats are involved. The core is involved. All that's involved. So, maybe taking a piece of something that's core focused as a prep work to get them in the correct position to do that deadlift.
Yeah.
So I would say not so much working against each other, almost working together on almost like collaboration.
Yeah.
Something like this. I'm not your traditional, I would say, guest. It's more gym owner, but I've been in the industry for 10 to 12 years and I just decided to change it up, but I made a hybrid.
Yeah, you work with gym owners. I mean, listen, guys, I don't try to bring anybody here that I meet on the street or play pickleball with, right? But we're trying to get value to you guys to make sure that this is something that you guys can bring into your business. And listen, if you're not a gym owner, who can you partner with that makes sense so you guys can help each other, right?
Exactly.
Grow. Like a gym owner for sure doesn't want to have the member stop because they hurt themselves, skateboarding, and next thing you know, somebody like Nick gets them back in the gym much faster and they don't stop the membership because they're giving, no excuses, bro. No excuses.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah, I love it, dude. I love it.
So
I love that magic wand. That's good. Power. power. And if I was just to recap it, it would be like shaming. Like don't shame and don't put down another program. Just, hey, listen, everybody has their own little thing and their own way to do it. If you like mine, great. I'm going to help you. Let me
Yeah.
show you that, and that's it.
And if not, maybe you could refer that to them, because once again, that quick little relationship, they could have two clients for you to refer back. Hey, I couldn't find a way to get this done or that done. Maybe this helps you, in your way. So it then becomes a relationship of
Yeah.
referrals back and forth. So
Yeah.
not everything's against each other, I would
Right.
say.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. Love it, dude. Love it. So good, man. So question I like to ask is, to me, I guess I'm a pretty influential person, and meaning I get influence. I, I realize it. And am I also influential on others? Yeah. I also know that as well. Starting with my family and my children, right? So who in your life has been an influential person in your journey of business or personal development?
So on the business end of things, I had a lacrosse coach who is like an older brother to me. I'd say his name is Shane Rye. He's a manual therapist, but I call him the godfather of me getting into the system. So,
Okay.
quick little backstory: I ended up hurting my groin, I believe, something like that, and just nothing was getting it right. Went to him real quick, just through word of mouth. Hey, he's does this. He has a little gym, and he was a gym owner. That's where I got my start, actually. Um, Within one session, I was moving at 100%. And from that point on, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to work. So it wasn't your traditional gym sense. So it's like, oh, more reps, more sets, to get sweater. One thing I like to hold almost that he told me, he's like, not every workout has to be where you're drenched in sweat. And don't get me wrong, it's great, all that. But he goes, I can make you throw up by doing 5 cartwheels in a row. He goes, you'll sweat, you'll throw up. Boom. He goes, it's how you execute the exercise itself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's been a huge part in this journey for me. But on the life end of things, my father just coming from a country at war, him being in the actual war himself, coming here, only us three, my father, my mother, and myself. Him starting his own business, that's just been a drive. Not to sound cliche, you always look up to your father, etc. But he's just been someone that I've held highly, because it's one of those, okay, he's giving me this platform,
Yeah.
and not to disappoint in a way,
Right.
but he's proud no matter what. But why not use this platform? I could have done anything else, but I decided, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going, keep
Yeah.
pushing, because seeing him do all the work, hit the grind, all that, it pushes you to want to be at that level. It's
That's
once
right.
again, it's
That's true. That's so
and
good.
like I said, not to sound too cliche with
No.
the father, but it's just it's a person that's knows you in and out, and you get to see them every day, in a sense. I mean, I was lucky enough to see them every day, so
Yeah.
it's I'd say in a professional aspect, him as well, but if more into the niche of actually what I do, Shane Rye, who's with
Right.
Cressy Sport Performance, and he's now a manual therapist also for the Dolphins.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so
Nice.
I mean, when I say, like, I've had the high end of this, and I didn't even realize till I saw that people came to that gym from Australia, from Poland, all over the world to intern for 8 months, 4 months. I'm sorry, and seeing that, and it was around the corner from me.
Wow.
Hearing them on podcasts and the systems they have, and I was like, to me, that was just second nature. I'm like, yeah, that's what you do. Not knowing till later, I'm like, wow, that's actually not just common knowledge.
Yeah.
It's something very high. And so I've been lucky enough, like I said, to have it around the corner from where I live, to where I could just always shoot ideas back and forth with him. And one other person that's always helps me out is my best friend. He's a chiropractor, works very similar to me in Tampa. And in the
Okay.
business end of things, he's very, very direct, can be very focused. I'm more, I would call myself a people person.
Yeah.
So sometimes I get a little sidetracked, but the conversation turns into something positive. So there's a thousand ways to skin a cat. So
That's good.
him, I check in with him probably 2 or 3 times a week, and he's probably sick of hearing from me. But
Wow.
you know what? He puts up with it, and then that's something where I'm very lucky to have a friend like that.
Well, I think you need to. Yeah, this is so good. You need to make sure that you're being influenced by the right people. That way, later on, you can influence other people and guide them in the right direction. Like that just has to happen. You need to make sure that you're doing the right things for yourself. So that way, later on, you can give from the overflow of goodness, of a lot of good stuff. I love it. Cool. We're ready for Fast Five. You ready? All right, let's go.
32 always ready, right?
We talked about that yesterday. Oh man, in the pickleball court. So wrapping up right now. So we have Fast Five, and then we have another question at the end, special question. So we already talked about the influence person. So you gave me three. Give me one of those. Just one. Just the name. Which is the ones? I'm gonna put you on the spot.
All right. Just in life, I'd say my father.
Your father. Boom. What's one thing you wish you had known when you began your business?
Like we discussed earlier, patience. Patience is a virtue,
Oof.
and don't overthink.
Don't overthink.
That's let the system take its course.
Love it. Here's another one that you haven't answered already, which you see how I kind of lay it up nicely for you. It's a little bit of finessing. So what's a book, a blog, a podcast, a media positively impacted you?
So I currently am trying to finish the. I got a little busier, so I'm trying to add that as well into my curriculum as much as I can. But the subtle art of not giving a
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
F,
Not giving an F. There you
not
go.
giving an F.
There you go.
One thing that I could just take from that is obviously I mentioned it numerous times now. Overthinking and patience. Overthinking is not things you can't control.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Things you can't control, focus on those.
Yeah. That's it, dude. It's basically called the serenity prayer. So serenity, give me the serenity to have the peace for things I can't control and the courage to change the things I can control. So that's huge. That's huge.
That's been a huge part for me.
In your business, this is one of our focuses right now. How do you get referrals?
So luckily, like I said, I'm pretty local, so a lot of it's been word of mouth.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of snowballed. And
do you have a process for it?
I kind of just started working on a couple of friends. They felt better, and like I said, I'm in the community, whether it's soccer, whether it's lacrosse, whether it's pickleball. I've just been the guy,
Yeah.
and things just started to grow. And
It's community
has
Yeah.
been a huge part. For the marketing side of things, I'm still early in the business,
Yeah.
in the process of it. So I'm just trying to see what gives me the best return.
Yeah.
And that I'm still in the process of actually narrowing down, unfortunately.
Very
So
cool. No worries.
but community, I would say, has been a huge part because my schedule gets filled because this person knew this person. Oh, you're having some issues? See my boy Nick. And it's just been that person tells another person, and it's growing. So I've actually met a lot of people just through a couple of friends of mine.
I love it. And what's one habit or practice you believe that everybody would benefit from?
So I mean, this is once again going to sound cliche, but I go to the gym. I make it a thing where I make it a habit. I whether it's 30 minutes, 45, hour and a half, whatever you need, I make that almost like drinking water, eating, sleeping. I make that a priority. Exercise is huge, obviously with the right guidance, etc. But I make that my main priority in not a sense of selfishness, I would say, but in more of a sense of if I stay healthy, I can continue to do the things that I love, to grow, etc. And once again, to support for my family, to all that. So I'd say that is one of my big things. And I know, being on a gym podcast, that's kind of like, oh, weird, you'd say that, but it's not in the sense of like, you got to go out all day, but it gives you peace of mind. If you're anxious, if you're overthinking, it takes you out of that. So that's been, at least for me, one of the biggest parts. Just you put on the headphones, you go into the gym, and then you just let it all out. And then maybe while you're there, you get an idea, you get a way to see something. So currently that's been mine. I also like to go to a park over in
That's it.
North Palm
Nice.
Beach. I don't want to give it up because it's a secret location of mine and it's already a little,
I
but
got
it's
one too, bro. Don't
yeah,
even.
but it's
It's all
am I
good.
gonna say the name? Should I say, all right,
I don't
I'll
know. I mean, listen, this is nationwide stuff.
all
People,
right. So
it's like
it's Lakeside Park. I've been going there
yeah,
since I was, I want to say 7 years old, almost
yeah,
8 years old, with my father alone. And then I
yeah,
recently, a couple of years ago, introduced it to my fiance,
yeah,
and now we kind of make it a habit to go. It's a park. I've always liked the swings,
yeah,
and they have big like adult kind of swings.
yeah.
And once you go, the other side is intercoastal, and it looks over at Singer
Oh,
Island.
nice.
So as you're kind of swinging, wind's blowing,
Oh,
trees
it's
are kind of
great.
around you. All you see is just the coast, and then across.
Nice.
So that gives me a good amount of serenity. I'd say it's not an everyday thing.
Yeah.
I actually haven't gone in a little bit, so I definitely need to bring that back. But I'd say that's something I need to
Dude,
reintroduce.
one thing I got to share because this is what I do is like two things in the morning between 7:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning. I either go to the park and just go for a walk, stroll, check it out, or I go to the beach. I mean, here in Florida, I mean, how many people go to the beach almost every day? I do. Most people don't. They
I'll
don't take advantage of it.
I'll be honest. I'm one
Yeah.
of those people where
Yeah.
it's like,
There's
oh,
a
it's
lot of people. I would say like 90% of people don't go to the beach almost every other day. And it's like today the waves were like crazy highs. It was like wow, it
winds,
was
yeah,
amazing to
winds,
see.
yeah.
Massive.
Just natural seeing just that
Yeah.
that power
So
come through.
power,
Yeah,
dude. The power
yeah.
is so good. So, anyways, that's awesome, dude. Park is for sure. I think everybody understands the gym is for sure, but the park, I think having that little set apart time just to like stillness. I'm reading the book. Stillness is the key. So stillness, part of that. That's great. All right, dude. This is it. Last question. And just like I had the wand, I also have a time machine. I know, I know. You would think I have it all. I have it all.
You got
I
everything
have
here.
everything here. So listen, we're gonna jump into this time machine, and we're gonna visit 14-year-old Nick. All right, we're gonna step out of the timer machine, and we're gonna see little Nick, and we're gonna go up to him. You're gonna go up to him. I'm just gonna stand and watch, and you're gonna go up and you're gonna tell him a piece of advice because who else than you can really speak to him? So, what do you say to him, Nick?
I'd say stay focused. That's always been a strength of mine. Stay focused, but I'm gonna go back to it again. Don't overthink. The darkest day is not the darkest day.
Mm,
Push through. There will be sunlight. There will be daylight. It will be brighter. Once again, one thing I'm not huge on quotes, but one of my best friends, it was kind of a joke throughout, but it just kind of sings. You're gonna have some rainy days to enjoy the sunny ones.
mm-hmm.
So because you plan, I'm a big planner.
Oh yeah.
I have to plan my day out, or I'm all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I don't hit all those points, at least I had that guidance where I'm like, okay, that didn't get done, etc. So I'd say not everything is going to go according to plan.
Right.
Adjust, adapt, and adjust,
Yeah.
and continue to push forward.
Yeah.
That'd be simple as that. I mean, a 14-year-old me would probably be like, dude, get out of my face. But,
Dude, I mean, listen, it's you. You're talking to you. I mean, first he'll be like freaked out and hopefully like, oh my gosh, tell me. And so, dude, he'll be open, dude. I love it. Awesome, man. Way to go, bro.
Thank you
Way
for
to
having me
go.
on.
Good stuff. All right, guys, you got it. That's it. Man, that was such a fun episode. I really enjoyed what Dr. Nick said about patience becoming the obstacle he had to overcome. What was your favorite takeaway from today's episode? I would love it if you connected and shared your thoughts with us on ReviewBiz Instagram at ReviewBiz. Make sure to follow ReviewBiz to get strategies for more referrals, retention, and of course, reviews. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the show on your platform that you're listening on. And remember to leave us a rating and a written review. It helps us so much improve the show with your feedback. Also, check us out on YouTube. The channel is filled with a whole bunch of podcasts and strategies on turning your online reputation with reviews into more revenue for your gym. So go ahead and check that out. By the way, as always, I want to thank you so much for your encouragement, and I truly appreciate it. Well, folks, that's all for the season. We've had a great time sharing our conversations with fitness leaders and insights with you. And we've hoped you've enjoyed listening as much as we've enjoyed making the show this year. Before we go, we want to invite you to join our podcast email list. That way, you'll be the first to know about new episodes, exclusive content, and special offers from our sponsors. Plus, we'll be sharing some great tips and strategies for using ReviewBiz to get more referrals and retain your customers. So go ahead, check us out at reviewbiz.io/podcast. And I'll see you guys next year.